Good morning, folks. On my way to work this morning on this Wednesday. I have an hour to drive from my home to work, and I always try to collect my thoughts and utilize this time with my mind. Meditate and think. And maybe even journal into a video. I'm going to dedicate this video and commentary to a very good friend of mine who I care about, who suffers from anxiety and depression. This person struggles just like a lot of people do. I'm one of them. I'm not just conveying benign ideas that are based on shallow experiences. The subject matter of this extremely sensitive topic goes very deep with me. For those who know me, will understand and hopefully agree. The question is, why are some subject to this kind of human weakness? I shouldn't call it weakness. The human condition. What happens that makes us feel hopeless and scared and depressed? Okay. Based on my experience and seeking the reason for such a terrible condition, which you find yourself helpless to. You can't it's impossible to say, no, I'm not going to be that way. No, I'm not going to be unhappy today. No, I'm not going to be anxious. No, I'm not going to be depressed. No, I'm not going to feel extreme anxiety. Can't do it. You have no choice but to succumb to it and let it have its way with you. The only thing that I found that combats these overwhelming sensations, feelings, is to acknowledge the fact. Period. Look at yourself. Look at the state of depression and anxiety straight in the face, and look at it and say, okay, you're more powerful than me. But I still have the ability to breathe. I still have the ability to think about what is real, because the truth of depression and anxiety is factually fact. It's not real. It is a super powerful illusion that is like a demon, and I look at it like a demon, like a spiritual attack on the soul. Yes, I know that there is science that says it's a chemical reaction in the mind, in the brain, that causes these very helpless sensations. But if I was to succumb to that prognosis and that idea, that conclusion that, you know, it's a medical, physical condition within the mind, I think it would hinder my ability to overcome it. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with science. I don't disagree with anything. I don't disagree with medication for it. In fact, I take medication for preventive depression. But what I also do is mentally fight it, and I think it takes both. I think it takes both. So that's what I do. The goal is to come to reality and make reality foremost present in your being. And it takes practice. It takes a continuous effort on the part of the individual. I think that the medication removes the sharp edges of depression and anxiety so that I can better combat the illusions. It is a fight for your existence, because it's a hellish existence to live every day hopelessly lost in a state of sadness and fear. That's what it is, sadness and fear. Self-pity. Constantly, you're just completely consumed with self-pity. And then, you know, of course, you have people on the outside of your condition who know you and love you and see you. And it's hard for them to understand, and you experience, you feel their frustration because you can't acknowledge what they tell you, which is usually, quote unquote, you're okay, quote unquote, there's nothing wrong, quote unquote, snap out of it. You know, those things make you feel even worse because you can't act on what these friends and family say, you know, and then you feel worse. It's really a lonely situation. Very, very lonely. Alright, so if someone asked me how someone who suffers from this hopeless condition asked me, you know, hey, how do you overcome it? My answer would be I try to take advantage of every weapon or tool available to me to fight it, which includes therapy, psychiatrist, seeing a psychiatrist, getting medical or getting medication, and also exercise, and forceful motion. Stay in motion. Make sure I get up and force myself to occupy my mind with something other than self-pity and fear and sadness. And you know, I have been through these experiences multiple times, and every time I practice the same methods of recovery: therapy, doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, psychiatrists, whichever one. I know there's a difference. And medication and self-motivation. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes the last one I had was very, very bad. Very bad. I don't want to go back there ever again because it's just, oh my God, it's so terrible. But here, you know, I always come out of it with something different about my state of being. My personality changes somewhat, and it's always for the better. Okay, I've been through it a number of times. I've been through these conditions enough times to be able to see a difference in my personality as a human being, as a man. And what happens ultimately, without any effort upon myself, when I come out of it, is that I am a softer person. I am, because you know, in my younger days, I was known to be very arrogant and judgmental, and I I hate to say it, but I was ignorant, very close-minded, and absent of compassion for other people. And the depression and anxiety and fears and sadness has softened those negative qualities, negative personality traits greatly. I am not arrogant. I don't, judging for myself, judging me on how, judging myself now compared to what I used to be is, I'm not arrogant. I am open-minded. I have become open-minded to everyone, every kind of person, every condition, even extremes. Considering today's society, how extreme it is from one side to the other on political and religious views and stuff like that. Try to be understanding. Where do these people come from? Why do they think the way they think? What is happening? What steers people to do the things they do? I've developed compassion for people who suffer from anxiety and depression simply because I know how horrible it is. So I don't want to be the one to say snap out of it. Can't do that, won't do that, because I know how difficult it is. But what I will say is that there is absolutely a way out. There is absolutely hope. There is an absolute reason why you seem to be a target, seem to feel like you're a target of this very lonely condition. There's a reason for all the things that happen in one's life. For example, if I was not to experience the difficult and unpleasant experiences throughout my life, I would not be this kind of person today. And it's the same with every individual. Because of the condition of depression, anxiety, and fears and sadness, I have taken great effort to learn about it and study it. So I've indulged in philosophy and metaphysics and spirituality. Simply asking the question, why are things the way they are? Why do things happen? Why do bad things happen? Why do we have feelings of love and hatred? Why are we confused? Think about those questions. Everybody wants to know the answers to those questions. And everybody must find the answers to those questions. And we're not distracted. I find that society is mainly distracted. For the most part, distracted. distracted by their careers, their relationships with people, other people. People are distracted by what they want, and they're distracted by what they cannot have. They're distracted by their natural human desires and compulsions. And because of those distractions, the questions get lost and are not important to them. You know, and good for them. They don't struggle with, those types of people typically don't struggle with depression and anxiety. They probably struggle mostly with frustration. Because of the distractions that cannot be ignored. The pursuit of happiness. That's what everybody wants. I want to be happy. Well, the reality is in this life is that you can't always be happy. It's not possible. So us as human beings have a choice. Keep searching for this happiness through all of the different avenues that are before us. Relationships, possessions, sports, physical experiences. Those things will take away the question of why. Why? And I became obsessed with the question why, and had to know, had to seek, had to take that journey, and I've done that, and I still ask why, and I still look for a reason, and that helps me stay into a state of reality, accepting the things that I can't control, knowing that I can't just sit down and do nothing and feel sorry for myself, forcing myself to get up and act and do and be, live a life and if there's an afterlife, I want to live it as well. The afterlife. You know, I really question whether there really is an afterlife. And I don't mean to, I'm not suggesting that there is no existence after this particular life. No, what I'm saying is something completely different. I think that possibly existence is one complete state of continuous being. The fact that the body eventually stops functioning is inevitable, but I don't think the essence of me being me being what I perceive and understand and know and do not know, I don't think that ends. And there's a reason for that. There's one particular experience that I've had that suggests that that's true. So if you're not understanding what I'm saying is that every instant of our existence never stops. Every moment, every future moment is another moment of existence and time that is in a state of continuous flux. I think that there's other stages of being beyond this state of being, but I do not think, I think it's impossible, matter of fact. It doesn't make sense for there to be an end to existence. It doesn't make sense. If that was true, if there was an end to the state of existence, then there would be no reason to be depressed. There would be no reason to be happy. There would be no reason for the extreme emotion of love and the extreme emotion of hatred. There would be no reason for discontentment, dissatisfaction, and contentment and satisfaction. There would not be a reason to ask why. If existence comes to an end, and when I say existence, I mean your essence, the essence of who you are. I am me. I know that I am me. I know that I can think, and I know that I can reason, and I know that I can ask questions. If there was an end to existence, there would never be a question. So the question is, of course, where are we going? So this is my advice. For what it's worth, and I'm no doctor, you know, I'm just a poor sap that has been through a little bit of hell. This is my advice, man, because really, you don't want me to say, you know, you're pretty much screwed, so there's no hope. You don't want me to say that, right? So what I'm going to say is there is hope, and yeah, you might be screwed at the moment, but it's for a reason. Seek out that reason. My advice to you, seek out that reason and let yourself bond with that reason. Seek out understanding and bond with understanding. And most importantly, believe in existence. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in hell. And you don't have to believe in heaven. Okay? You don't have to go to church and practice a religion. However, I did for a time and studied religion and spirituality to help me understand, because understanding existence means understanding the whole of existence, everything about it. Why does everything exist? Why does religion exist? Why does the concept of God and heaven and hell and the devil exist? Why are all of these people forced to cohabitate on this big giant rock in darkness? And be patient with yourself and everybody else. Let things happen. And just take notice. I say, exist. Knowingly exist, because you don't have a choice. That's one thing we don't have control of. Yeah, you can say, oh, I'm going to end my life with whatever means you find available to you. But I think it's very true that you're not ending your existence, because that doesn't make sense. Here's a question. Why would you consider ending your life? Why would one consider ending their life if existence had an end? It doesn't make sense. So existence is a struggle. And through struggles, one learns. One learns from every painful struggle. So if one acknowledges, okay, if one says to himself, herself, this experience has made me feel very bad, very confused, very sad. For the reason. And not only look for the reason in your own existence, but for others as well. Why did things happen to them? What things in their life caused their experiences? Act, do, be, forgive. Act, do, be, forgive, and understand. And if you don't understand, that's okay. Always stay on a quest to understand. If you want, since this is important. Since you do exist, then make existence valuable. Make it valuable. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. Because if you exist permanently, forever, time doesn't really matter. I gave a saying, a philosophy to my boys, to my children, and it goes like this: time does not exist for those who do what they have to do without resistance. Time does not exist for those who do what it's time to do without resistance. So do that. Do that. Make amends. Don't hate. Respect all things. Absolutely everything. Imagine that everything was created by one giant, powerful thing called existence. Because that's really God. Existence is our God. And imagine that existence created itself. And that goes for all things that we know and see and feel and touch. So respect existence. Hate nothing. Forget about being angry about something you can't control, or sad, or anxious. Let it be. The Beatles. Let it be. Let it be. One of my favorite songs. Another favorite song is Imagine by the Beatles. Beatles were pretty cool. I mean, they had their problems, but so does everybody else, man. You read philosophers, and every one of them had some serious problems. You read about spiritual, maybe saints. They had big problems. So nobody is innocent. All right, man. I hope that this video reaches people and reaches my friend, and I hope it helps. I hope it helps. You know, I know there's no magic resolution for depression and anxiety, but there is the hope and the effort to combat it, and I hope this helps. So have a good day, and thank you for listening.